Guys, girls, admirers, I admire you. You made it through another day. You're still in the fight. Congratulations. So, reincarnation means born again, and right now you are somewhere on Earth, coming to grips with who you are. And it shouldn't be hard, it should be easy. But knowing that much, it's time to learn new things. So before the Bible was written, there were some very wise men in Greece and in, that part of Egyptian, European knowledge that talked about a place called Atlantis. So we're pretty close to beyond a doubt that that civilization existed and was destroyed and is now under the Atlantic Ocean. So the exact dimensions of Atlantis and where it starts and where it finishes now is a question in and of itself. But very quickly, if you're interested in, if you know that you're going to be around here for a long time and you want to start learning, just as a thing to do as opposed to watching CNN and all the stuff that's coming, as a thing. Atlantis was a real place, and there's a lot of information on the internet right now just to go to play Sherlock Holmes and put it together for yourself. Okay, so here's my belief. Here's what I know from angelic channeling and from deductive reasoning and where I'm at right now and where I was. Atlantis was definitely off Gibraltar to the west, Atlantic Ocean. Coastwise, there's evidence of that coming out of the Mediterranean via Egypt. Then when you get around to the other side, America, you've got, linkages to artifacts and history and testimony of humans who wrote things down and kept them in their family, and then the details are there. So there are videos like this. Atlantis finally rediscovered. And I'll minimize this. I just want to talk about this picture for a second, but I'm going to minimize it just to jump around. So obviously the people from Atlantis, I'm going to call it a random statue, and I'm going to guess, I have no idea where it's located. It's either on our side or their side. It's an artifact that I don't think is digitized, but I'm not even sure of that. It's tied into this video, and I just wanted you to note that clearly this is a relationship to an enlightened person because of the projection and the high self that's being represented. I mean, call it esoteric, Gnostic awareness of a being that's been put into the form of a statue. So as you go through this thing, just to, highlight it, I'm just going to click on different things. The narration talks about these men, the key guys, the city, speculation as to where things could be. It's very well done, and I'm way far from being completed with it. My speculation is that, this is as good a representation as any. I'm all about Tampa Bay, Florida, and the relationship of key essence of Atlantis that encompasses that entire South Florida, Bimini, Devil's Triangle. If you look at the canal system that's been developed as an intercoastal, that's kind of there around the state, around Tampa, around St. Petersburg, Pinellas County. There's a lot of canal work that has been put in place already that is for miles and miles and miles, where you can sail along just inside the main body of water. And those of you that live there know what I'm talking about. Well, that's how it got there by this. It was put together in Atlantis. So this is an example of what, know the Tampa airport, think Tampa airport, think Tampa Bay, think very logical layout to get where you need to go. Nothing more than that, because there's a lot of renditions in this video that shows what rings look like, and some of them are on mountains. You see that one's got mountains in the background, so they're conceptualizations. But so know that when the deluge occurred, that things got pushed all over the place. We also know that crystal is very important as a knowledge reference point that transcends anything you've been taught in school. And this very large crystal that was the centerpiece of Atlantis, to an extent maybe you could say that's analogized by that glow right there. You know, when you get sunlight hitting it, and there's just things that we don't know as a society that they did. Very advanced, very technology oriented. Guys were very industrious. We were full up in Atlantis, and then we got wiped out in a dark versus light, esoteric meditation of you're not ready yet, boom. And Lucifer moved out and things got formed. So to conclude this, I'm going to put this longer video in the description. Urge you to watch it. This is the provider. You get a good shot. I know that the light is not good, but it's the universe inside you. That's her thing. Okay, right there. And good videos from that provider. Very human in research, much like Athenian Gardens, but very esoterically, like good research and good information from, you know, I'm going to call it non-angelic channeling that comes pretty damn close by using history books and everything else. Because when this provider gets done with their deductive reasoning by all the books that have been written, they're only like 1,000 years off of what we were told by angels, who said 12,500 BCE. So we have a date that you know, do plus or minus. I mean, that's how it is. So that's all. I just wanted to point that out. And have a good day. I'll put the link to that video in the description, and I'll continue to watch it. And the message is, start learning about other things that you don't know about. If you cut school as a kid because you weren't interested, and guess what? They weren't teaching this in school anyway. So you did the right thing by blowing it off because you didn't want to. Well, now, if you're interested, only because it's all true, it should be interesting to find out, hell, the relationship between New York City and Florida, and the fact that there's an atlas that can kind of be oriented up towards Ohio. I mean, it just gets really mind-blowingly, the relationship of the Tampa Bay sports teams and the transition through Y2K and the military might out of SOCOM. You just relive it in this day and age. And what we have going right now, in terms of command and control of the assets with the buttons, there is a force there that is got intention at the top and knows how to manipulate people. So you want to herd the masses. I put a video out about FEMA and change and this next sort of a human deluge. Let's call it that. But let's hope for the best. Let's keep learning, and let's be Christ. Put Christ after your name. Make him your equal. Learn from him. Read his words, because that sets you up for where we're going. So have peace. Have a great day.